So, and the topic of today is about life struggles. So everything is a struggle. Okay? So today we talk about that, about life struggles, and about the relationship between life struggles and stress. What is stress? And the relationship between stress and disease. Okay? So we become aware of what we are doing. So the most important thing we need to remember, Swami Sivananda said that life is a struggle. I mean, if you cease to struggle, you cease life. And then we are equipped with all the tools in order for us to lead our life. Okay? But it's like you have a good vehicle you are equipped with, but you don't know how to drive, and you drive in a wrong manner. Let's say you're going to, at the same time accelerating, and at the same time pushing on the brake. Then what will happen? You damage the vehicle, you're not going anywhere, and you create stress and tension, and then you harm the vehicle. So we need to understand clearly what is life and why life is so difficult. Difficult on earth, it is said. And also sometimes it's more difficult than other times. And what do we do with this? In order for us to, you can say, win the battle, or to come out the other side somehow, not too damageable. Winning. So that's the idea. The more that we understand the battle of life, the more we'll be able to use our tools, our equipment correctly and get help. So we are here, I'm here teaching yoga and try to reach out to as many as possible. We are here to support this life struggle. Okay? So you need to understand why yoga discipline will support you. Okay? So when we do not understand that, why we need to practice yoga and make use of the yoga discipline in order for us to be strong, and like I use the word again, winning the battle of life, then we are not, we neglect in our sadhana or our yoga practice. So first I'm going to read from Swami Sivananda here about what is life. So Swami Sivananda says that life is a conscious stream. So what that means? That means that life is constantly moving, okay? Like a river. If you stand at one place and you see the river flow, so the different waters look like the same water, but the different waters just keep flowing, not for a moment stopping, okay? So life is like that. It's a conscious stream, it's constantly moving, okay? So we have to pay attention that sometimes we stop the flow, okay? So that's a problem. So we have to understand that life is flowing so we can go with it, okay? There is life in everything. Okay? So sometimes we think that there is life only if there is certain condition met. But that's wrong thinking. Okay? There is life in everything. So the idea, our challenge, is to find that meaning, or that life, or that meaning in all situations. And it is said, is a conscious stream. That means what? That means that we need to be aware, we need to know. Our challenge is to know what's the meaning of our life. And yoga teaches you this. Life is a journey. It's a journey like a trip. Life is a journey, but you need to know from where to where, so that you can interpret the struggles of life. Okay? Interpret means you become aware that this is what you are struggling with. And then you can wisely try to find the tools in order to support you. Okay? So he said, life is a voyage in the infinite ocean of time. So this is very important to understand, that life did not start when you are born and did not end when you die. Okay? He said infinite ocean of time. That means you have gone through different experiences in this life, but also in past lives. Okay? And according to the theory of karma and reincarnation, yoga is based also in that theory of yoga and reincarnation. Then there will be also future life, future opportunities to experience different experiences in order for you to, we say, pay up your karmic debt, or in order for you to have other kind of experience to complete the picture so that you can become eventually perfect. Okay? So, life is a voyage in the infinite ocean of time. Scenes are perpetually changing. So it is said that this life is only a chapter of the book of your life. So you remember, it's like you read a novel, then there are different chapters. In some chapters somebody coming in, new character, new plot. And another chapter, different character coming in, and then different plot, different scenery altogether. Okay? So that's what life is. Now, life is a journey from impurity to purity. So that means we go toward our purity. That means our perfection, you can say. Our state of perfection, when there is no blockages, no blemishes, no taints, no difficulties that come from our wrong vision of who we are. So the theory of yoga or yoga philosophy said that we are light, we are pure light, we are pure consciousness, we are the source of life and light itself. Okay? But it's like sometimes you use a glass to see, and then you have crack or dirt in there, and then you see everything with this dirt. Okay? So that is called impurity. So we need to remove the dirt in order for us to see correctly. And that is called life. According to the theory of yoga, there is 3 kinds of impurities. The impurity that come from egoism, that means a wrong idea of self. The impurity that come from the nature of the mind, all the time jumping and restless and projecting different idea, different scenario, different stories. And we need to really calm that mind down in order for us to see correctly the beauty that is behind the movies. So the mind is like this, constantly projecting different stories, different movies, different drama. And the effort is to calm the mind in order for you to see the beautiful picture behind. And the third impurity, according to the philosophy of yoga, is the nature, the veiling nature of the mind. The mind not only projecting false idea about yourself and about things, and it makes you restless and you run after it, but also it veils your true nature. It veils the consciousness or the awareness or the knowledge of the self. Okay, so these are, you can learn all this if you take Vedanta courses, or in our yoga teacher training course, we talk about that quite a lot. Okay, so the impurities that we are born with makes that we struggle. Okay, and life is a journey from impurity to purity, is a journey of purification. Okay? Now life also is a journey from hatred to cosmic love. Okay? So we started like this with a lot of hatred in our heart, or disliking, you can say disliking, and also liking. So when you have dislikes and likes in your mind, then you would have hatred and bits of love that is not satisfied. So, in order for us to experience this cosmic love, that means this very complete, very freeing, very expanded, unconditional love, we need to go through the journey of life that present to us many opportunities to hate. Many opportunities for us to hate in order for us to develop the capacity to love unconditionally. Okay? So when you struggle in life, I gave you all these pointers that are being given by Swami Sivananda in order for you to recognize what is the true story about your life. We always blame something external, somebody external, some circumstances external, yeah, but it's not true. It's something that is happening inside of you, independent from what is happening externally, or there's something that happened externally is only to help you to understand something that is happening internally. So the journey of yoga is a journey to understand that journey that's happening within you and know where you are at, again I repeat, and find the tools and the resources in order for you to help yourself on that journey so that you don't spend so much energy, so much effort, sometimes uselessly, and end up in stress and disease, which is another topic there. Okay? Disease means what? You know, the system breaks down. And then when it breaks down, you become sick, and then you die. That's all. You die earlier. But if you help yourself, then the system become, you know, stronger, resistant, and you don't have to die so early. That means you have opportunity, more opportunities for you to continue your learning. If not, life is not finished. When you die, yeah, that's a theory of yoga, you would continue another time. But it's a waste. It's too bad. Yeah? Like when you see people young that die, you say it's too bad, because they have an opportunity to experience life. So we need to again understand what experience of life that we need to all experience. It's not the experience of sensual enjoyment that sometimes we think. We think we are born with the body and the mind and the senses in order for us to enjoy life. But Swami Sivananda, who is a wise sage, a wise teacher, explained that it is not. We are here to learn a certain lessons. Okay? The meaning of life is to learn certain lessons. And if you learn it faster, it's better. Okay? So now we continue now to figure out what is the meaning of life. So you can cooperate with it and you can understand where you are from and where you're going. So you are from that mind that has strong likes and dislikes, strong hatred, okay? And you are going toward love that is not selfish, that is unconditional, we call cosmic love. So you're going from death to immortality. What that means, death to immortality, is eventually we understand all our lessons and we don't have to be reborn. We become complete and fulfilled, and that journey or that cycle of birth and death will automatically cease because we have attained the complete full knowledge of ourselves. So I just talk about this connection between disease and death and, you know, destruction of our instrument faster than we need because we don't know how to drive our vehicle, and the spending of energy, spending of prana that makes us actually die early. Yeah, so, but the journey is you need to come from there to eventually the realization of our immortality. From imperfection to perfection. Okay? So you started in life imperfect, we move toward perfection. So don't try to condemn people when you see their imperfection. Because if you look at yourself also, you have had some kind of trait or character that is quite difficult, and then you struggle with it for a long time, and now you become much more peaceful with it or stronger with it, and you can look at somebody else. Yeah? So know that everyone is progressing, everyone is moving from imperfection to perfection. So have compassion when you see people struggle, but also have, how do you say that, hold the space for them that means have a vision of them that is the highest. Because they might not be able to see themselves, but you will be able to see them. You hold the space for them. Yeah? Let's say somebody struggles with anger, so you have a vision of them completely peaceful, no anger. Yeah? So that thought of yours also will help them. From slavery to freedom. Yeah? Sometimes you see people alienated, not because of the external condition. Like now, some of you live in a condition where you cannot be free to go out, be free to shop, be free to entertain yourself, be free to travel. Yeah? So that the whole world is subject to that by the, the universe. There is some universal teaching here to the whole world, yeah, to turn inward, okay, and to slow down. I said that the world is somehow is feverish, is caught a sickness, and we need to, when a person is sick, then we tell them, go to bed, rest, take it easy. All the plan, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to calm down and modify, change. You start to realize, oh, it's not so important. I can change my plan, and I conserve my energy, and I turn inward, okay? So the world now is forced to turn inward, to slow down. Everything is contradicted. Yeah? Our normal way of life is contradicted. We cannot go on. Okay? So we are in some kind of crisis situation. Okay? And life struggle become very stronger than normal. So, from slavery to freedom. Even in that condition, where you feel, like I said, contradicted, or you feel that you cannot do anything, you can find your inner freedom. This is the yoga teaching. You can find the freedom from within you. Because freedom is from within you. Freedom is not from outside. Some people, let's say, different circumstances where people are free. Yeah? But the more they are free to travel, free to eat what they like, free to think what they like, free to talk what they like, yeah? But they feel very alienated. They don't feel free. Okay? So there is a false freedom and the true freedom from within. We need to discover. And the journey of life also means the journey from diversity to unity. From seeing the differences between you, between me, between different cultures, different languages, different religious beliefs, different characters, different genders, different colors. So we are looking out and seeing only the differences. But that kind of vision creates the unnecessary struggle, okay, that we have. Like sometimes we get into war, we get into crimes, we get into all kinds of conflict. Okay? So we need to understand that our journey is from diversity to unity. Seeing the diversity, but seeing at the same time the oneness that is behind. So our journey also is a journey from ignorance to eternal wisdom. Okay? So some people, they want to study and they get a certificate in university and they finish and they don't know what to do with their life, and they get another certificate and they get another certificate, they get another certificate, but they always feel empty. What's the reason? Because the reason why you feel like you lack of knowledge, because you are not in connection with yourself. Okay? So that state of ignorance is not the intellectual ignorance or the technical ignorance. It's a state of darkness, not be able to connect with yourself. So that is called ignorance according to yoga. So the more that you be able to understand that you don't know, then the more you have a chance to know. You get that? The problem is people think that they know, and they act out and create a lot more trouble to themselves. But if they slow down, like now, like I said, the world is forcing you to slow down, then you start to know that you don't know. Okay? And then at that time, you switch your thinking, you switch your priority, and you try to find true knowledge. That is called eternal wisdom. Okay? You become wise. So all the life crises that we go through is to teach us to become wise. Okay? From pain to eternal bliss. So life is full of pain. Physical pain. We go to the doctor. We hope that the doctor would heal us, give us this pill, that pill. Some people eat a cocktail of pills because they have so much different pain. And sometimes the pain, the doctor interpreted as only a symptom, external symptom, and cannot, sometimes modern medicine cannot see the connection between the different pain. And then so they gave you the different remedies for different kind of pain in the different systems of the body. But we don't quite understand the connection. Okay? So the connection is between the physical body, also the called astral body or the mental body is very important to understand, and the connection between the mental body or the mental state of affair and our spirit is very important to understand. So that's what we try to understand in order for us to not self-created more pain, and if there is already pain, to be able to detach from the pain, to be able to accept the pain, okay, and find happiness or bliss within the pain. It looks like impossible, but that's the teaching of yoga. And every topic takes a lot of explanation in order for you to understand. Okay, from weakness, our journey is from weakness to infinite strength. Okay? If you are suffering right now, if you are suffering, it's because of some kind of weakness. And that again is a philosophy of yoga, and it's difficult to accept because we always think that our suffering comes from some external source, but our suffering comes from our own weaknesses. Okay? So then we have to understand what is it that we need to equip ourselves in order for us to become stronger. Life is a journey to become stronger and stronger. Sometimes we think that strength means to push, to make an effort, and to display violence. Violence toward ourselves, violence toward outside of ourselves. That is called strength, but it is not. Actually, it is weakness. So the yoga philosophy will define to you what is real strength. There are scriptures that teach about that. The whole scripture just teach you about that. What's the way how to behave, in order for you to be not to be caught in reactivity, in conflict, in unnecessary comparison with others, competition with others, and how to become strong by yourself. Okay? How to overcome your weakness. What is the way how to interpret our strength and our weakness at the same time. Okay? So, the same like these muscles in the body, sometimes we like to exercise a certain muscles, we do certain posture, then we like it, because the muscles are strong, so we can do it. But when we have a certain weakness in the body, then we don't like to do it. We like to skip this weakness. But the yoga teaching is you need to exercise the weak muscles more, and you exercise less the strong muscles. Okay? Because so we avoid the compensation. Okay? Because if something weak, something strong, there is always what we call compensation. Okay? So the idea is we need to be very patient to work on our weakness, and eventually everything will balance out. Life is a great opportunity provided so that we can evolve. Okay? So life is service and sacrifice. And that is a different meaning of life that Swami Sivananda gave you. Yeah? It's not just like for enjoyment of the senses and then sleep and then eat and die. It's not like that. Life is service. That means understand the relationship between you and other people around you. Understand that if you work for other people and you love other people unconditionally and you serve them, you actually elevate yourself. So there's a story of a disciple and a teacher going through the different compartment of hell. So they come to one place and they see the people there very much suffering. Why? Because they have all the people in that room has a fused elbow. I mean, the elbow cannot bend. So they cannot eat food. You see, everything you have to eat food. They cannot pick up things. And the main thing is eating food. Yeah? They cannot even scratch their head, imagine. If the elbow is cannot bend, they cannot. So they are very frustrated. And they are angry. Yeah? So then the disciple and the teacher went to the other room, the compartment. And they see that these people are very happy. And they say, have the same problem. All the elbows are fused, and yet people are very happy. Why? Because they feed each other. They feed each other. Okay? So, we need to help each other. We need to serve each other. Because it serves ourselves. It makes ourselves happy. Okay? So life is service and sacrifice. life is love. So how to find love in this life? Yeah? It's the most important question. Life is relationship. Through developing relationship, correct relationship, positive relationship with each other, our life is enhanced. Swami Sivananda goes to the point to say that life is poetry, but not prose. That means not dry. It's poetry. It's a song. Life is a song. Life is art and imagination. So we are here as passing pilgrims. That means temporarily. Our journey here on earth, this time, in these circumstances, in this body, is temporary. Remember that. Our destination is our perfection. Our life is a quest or the questioning for the lost inheritance, for something that we have, but somehow now we don't have. We have forgotten something that is very fundamental, and that's how we feel very empty, we feel very sad. So get back to the central goal of your life, understand the goal of your life, is to come in the conscious realization of our oneness. Conscious, I mean, you see it, you know it, you understand it. Realization, you say, oh my God, I did not understand that. Yeah? I did not understand that I harm somebody, I harm myself. I did not understand that I, abuse the animals, yeah, and how it creates now some problem in climate change. I did not see the connection between my violent behavior towards some being, and now the flood, the virus, the fire, and all those things happen to me. I did not see the connection. And there is a connection in everything. So we need to come to the conscious realization of our oneness. And the opportunity to understand it is now. It's not tomorrow. It's not in the book. It's now. The more that you are in a challenging space, yeah, the more you need to dive deep within and find the reason and change yourself. Transform yourself. Because you cannot transform something outside. And yesterday I gave a talk to some people, that's what we said. Yeah? We try to change something outside, and the more we change something outside, the more we are powerless. Okay? But the more we equip ourselves with this right attitude and the right practices in order for us to elevate our immune system, that includes the positive thinking, that includes the positive lifestyle, then the more we improve our immune system, yeah, the more we become strong and we become immune to diseases. So I repeat again, yeah, the central goal of life is the coming into a conscious realization of our oneness. Okay? So if within the difficulties that you found yourself now, within the struggles that you find yourself now, and you start to have these wise insights, oh, I'm not alone. Oh, my life is not that bad, really. Look at the other person's life. They struggle much harder. They have no food to eat. They are starving, and I'm complaining that the food that I prefer is not being served. Yeah? So we start to see this thing, this connection. We start to open our heart and understand consciously this oneness. Yeah? Then at that time, the challenging condition or the difficulty that you have is an opportunity only. And you become grateful. The moment that you open your heart and you understand the meaning of life, you become so grateful because you have your life back immediately. You don't feel empty, you don't feel blameful, you don't feel resentment, but you have your life back, you connect to the source of life, and then you become so joyful. Okay? So Swami Sivananda said that life has no meaning as a separate life. Okay? So in the time of challenge of COVID, we have the tendency to become more isolated. Okay? Because we cannot meet with our friends, we cannot mingle, and we cannot touch, and we cannot talk, and then you become almost suspicious of other people. But at the same time, you have to open your heart. Okay? So it's a delicate kind of balance. How? At the same time, you have to be very careful of other opportunity to get infected by some kind of contagious disease, but at the same time, how you will have to open our heart more to find the oneness, which is our challenge. So that's why we said that this is a challenging time. How to find unity in diversity, how to find joy in difficulties, how to find peace when we don't find peaceful, how to find strength when you find that you want to collapse. Okay? So know that you are going through a test. Okay? You are going through a test. The whole world is going through a test. Knowing that you're going through the test, will give you more strength. Okay? It's not like this forever. It is a test only. So try to be strong. That's it. So that's not that's it. There's one another important teaching is life in matter and life in spirit. So Swami Sivananda say, life in matter, that means life on earth, is a school. Okay? And he said the struggle of life, fight. You need to fight. Okay? Not fight with each other, but fight with your own self. Okay? Fight with your own negative tendency. Boldly, he said, face all the difficulties and tribulations of this earthly life. Be a person with courage and know that life is a school. Okay? So live a simple life, unassuming manner, serve, love, give, purify, meditate, and realize. And see life as one, as a whole. See the unity of life. Okay, smile with a flower and the green grass. So smile with everybody, everything that you meet. Okay? And if not, if you don't do this, if you don't follow the flow of life, then you will stop the flow, and that's when you become stressed. Okay? You will spend the prana or the life resource uselessly, try to do the thing that is impossible or is not even worth it. So you waste your prana. You don't know how to connect with the nature, connect with the source of prana or life source that is within you, and you are very anxious, yeah? So you become more rigid. When you are fearful, you become paralyzed and you become more rigid. And the more you become more rigid, less accommodating, less flexible, fearful, then the more that the flow of life is obstructed, the more the thing that you are afraid of become even more serious. So you create the problem to yourself, you aggravate the problem to yourself. So I wish that you understand that mechanism, that you are challenged now for a reason. Face it, become strong, and don't create unnecessary problem to yourself by this negative reaction that you have toward the challenge. Think of it as a positive opportunity and try to cure yourself from anxiety. That's the biggest word nowadays. People are very anxious. Yeah, it is said when you are anxious, it's because you think of the future. Okay? You are regretful when you think of the past. You are anxious when you think of the future. So if you find yourself anxious, you need to think of the present. You live in the present. And yoga techniques, if you can apply, help you to live in the present. So do the breathing, do the relaxation, do the meditation, so you can be in the present, so you can face the challenge that is created by your own mind. Okay? So you solve the problem from controlling your own mind. And that's what yoga said. You solve this whole big problem of the world, something, crisis of the world. But how do you solve it? You solve it from yourself, not expecting somebody to solve it. There's nobody out there, there's you. So you solve the problem from yourself, turning within, try to control your mind and try to elevate your mind. Okay? Know that from stress come disease. 95% of the diseases comes from stress. That was the result of research. If you are stressed, that means you become rigid and you are not adapting. Like I said earlier, then you become stressed. Then you have disease. And from disease come destruction of the body, of the cells, and death. Okay, face that. Is it a message that you like to hear? So this morning is a very serious message, and you might not like to hear this, but this is what we need to face. Okay? So thank you very much for being here, and anything that we can do to support you, we means all the yoga teachers, and there is a lot of yoga teachers in Vietnam, and all over the world that understand this teaching. So then go to the yoga teacher, or to the wise people, okay, and get yourself supported or help. Don't be alone, because you are not alone. Your problem is not a personal problem, okay? Even though you have to solve the problem from yourself, but your problem is a problem of ignorance of this whole world. Hare Om Tat Sat. Thank you very much. Oh.